This is the fifth step, displaying the question and casting the vote. Let's see the basic prerequisites. You will have to review the chapter 10 of my ASP.NET Core course, Understanding Link Queries. And in that there is a tutorial, single or default, find first or default, single and first. This will help you understand this tutorial better. And you will also have to go through functional techniques chapter of my C#.NET Core course. There is a tutorial on discards. These tutorials will help you understand this current tutorial better. Or if you do not want to do this, then you can learn with me as you walk, because this is also equally good and this is a practical skill, so it can be learnt by walking also. And now let's see what we are going to cover right now. The objective of this tutorial is to present a question with 4 options and a submit button. If the user doesn't make any choice, an error should be shown, and if he makes a choice, then a green message voted by this phone as B, so that the user knows what he has voted, and click on view results. He will be able to see the results. The results page will be completed in the next tutorial. So this is basically what we have to do: present this and present this and present this whole story. So let's start with our Visual Studio to see what we have done so far. In the previous tutorial, we completed this enter OTP page. In that case, the user was presented a form, and when he clicked OK, in that case, we created a claim and we ultimately signed the user in. So this is what we have done so far. And upon signing, he was taken to the index page, and on this page we have to show the question. So you should now remember that we created a claim consisting of his phone number. This claim will be used on the next page to determine the phone number. Let us now see another thing. We shall add this question in an assets folder in the www root directory, and this HTML of this question, it has been written separately in this directory, so that we have a modular case. We do not hard code it. This file can be replaced, and then we can keep using on the basis of this file. Let's see the HTML of this file. This is a simple div, a question, the image for the question. This image is in the images folder directly inside the images directory. And a radio button is presented, value A, name, value B. So various choices are presented, and this is the simple HTML page. Now this is the question that has to be presented to the user on the index page. Let us now open the index page and see how we have completed it. This is the index page. Double click and let's view this. So here we have the page directive, the index model, but this is important. We have obtained iWeb host environment from dependency injection, and environment.webroot path, that is this property, it gives me the path to the www root directory. This path is required by this function read all text. This function needs the full path, so this is what gives me the full path to the root directory, and when I combine it with assets and question, I get the complete path to the question file, and the read all text gives me all the HTML in this variable. So this trick has helped me store my question in a separate file. I do not have to hard code it here. And after this, I write this question in H1, then HTML.raw it writes the whole HTML that we stored from the read from the file. This HTML will be substituted here and the question will be shown here. Then we have a partial page to show any messages. This message partial we have already created and I will show you so that you can recall. It is in the shared directory. We created in the first tutorials this partial page to show messages. So we'll come back. This partial is now used to present any messages, and the messages will be starting with error or they will be starting with success. We will write the messages in such a way that errors start with error and success start with success. So if your message will start with success, then we will present this view results button. This view results button will be presented so that the user can now see the results, but this page, view results page, will be completed in the next tutorial. And otherwise, if the user meets an error or is yet to vote, in that case we present a submit button. So this is what is the whole HTML of this index page. Let us now have a look at the code for this file. So first of all, we have marked this index model class with authorize attribute and project context logger. They are obtained through dependency injection, and after this we have used this message property in temp data to present messages to the user. Temp data is a good way of showing messages to the user. You can take note of it. We have used it in our earlier pages also. And now let's see on post. When the user posts the form, the choice ABCD comes in this RB variable. If RB is null, we present an error. Please choose an option and the page is returned back. So this is a sort of a validation message, and otherwise we obtain the phone number of the user from the claims that we created when we signed in. This phone comes here. If phone is null, we sign out, log an error message and redirect to the OTP page. Click below to get OTP again. Otherwise, if phone is not null, we will proceed to the database operation. So let's see the database part. Here we are. So what do we have to do right now? We have to make an entry into the votes table. First thing that will be stored is the phone. The second will be the choice, and third will be the name of the poll. So the poll may be on different dates, different name, but in this our case, we have set the poll name as fixed and stored it in poll name constant in the program.cs file that I already showed you earlier. But in a real case, it could be derived from day or date. So we have the poll name to store here. The radio button comes from the form, and this phone has been obtained from the user claims. Now, here we search the votes table if the vote has already been cast. A user might be updating. So in this case, we try to obtain the vote for the phone and for the poll name. Once we have this, we have it in our variable v. If the user is inserting, in that case, this v will be null, and we use a boolean add to tell us that we are going to add a record. So here, if v is null, in that case we create a new record containing the phone and the poll name. If it is not null, then whatever was obtained from the database is already in v. Set the choice, and if you are adding a record, use add, otherwise update. We have used a discard. This discard helps me to write the whole story in single statement, in single expression story. Otherwise, I would have to use if add, then add, else, update. So this if else ladder I am saved by using this discard. This is a feature of C#8. It only helps me write the code in a brief way, and after this save changes and message voted by this phone. This is a success message, and log information and redirect to the page. When you redirect to the page, to the same page, this is success is compared here, and we show the view results page, view results button. This will be completed in the next tutorial. So now let us run this project to see that things work. We navigate to the home page, click OTP, sign in, and now we have the question. When we submit it, we get an error, but when we choose an option and click submit, we get a green color message voted by this phone as this, and view results will be completed in the next tutorial. So with this, I will pause. I will close it right now. In the next tutorial, we will complete the view results page. Thank you.